got a great sponsor. It is My Pillow. You guys know about My Pillow, right? They got pillows. And you want to go to mypillow.com and use promo code TIM. If anybody claims there's some other promo code to use, they're lying. You just got to use TIM. Okay, they're not lying, but use my promo code anyway. So you guys know our friend Mike Lindell. He has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep they ever got. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. You know, I got to be honest, sleep has been key, no joke, into improving everything. Mike is offering the best deal on his Giza Dream bed sheets. Any size, any color, just $49.98. That's right. You can even get queens, kings, split kings, and cow kings. Any size and any color, just $49.98. Order now because when they're gone, they're gone. And for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you'll receive $100 in free digital gifts. Call 1-800-925-9096. Use the promo code TIM or go to mypillow.com and make sure you use promo code TIM for that amazing offer. $49.98 on the Giza Dream Sheets, any size and any color. In fact, I do use a MyPillow every night, seriously do. And we have, I think, 100 left just downstairs, and we actually give them out. Because we bought 300 of them to make a pillow pit to jump into. It's a whole story. But shout out to MyPillow. Thanks for sponsoring the show, Mike. Big fan. You're a good dude. Let me ask all you guys. If you were given evidence of Epstein's client list and it included business magnates, world leaders, and they said, you make the choice to publish this, but it will sever alliances with the United States. It will potentially spark civil unrest in numerous countries. It will destroy several Fortune 500 companies, potentially sending the U.S. market into a crisis or depression. Would you do it? Would you release all of the information to the world?
I mean, there's no question that you have a moral obligation to, but we're talking about balancing the scales here in a situation where the scales are seemingly unbalanceable. Do you take the moral high ground and say we need to release this because the public has a right to it, or do you allow everything to be
maintain the stability?
How do you make that call?
I'm of two minds, right? First of all, there is a human cost in that kind of course of action, right? If it destroys global markets, if it causes a bunch of chaos, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to lose their lives. There's a lot of people that'll die. There is a direct correlation between the GDP of a country and how many people die per year. That is undeniable. Now, that alone would make some people say, no, it's not worth it. Just because of the lives it saved. Now, there's already the people that were trafficked, their lives are already ruined, destroyed. And if you out the people that have done the destroying, and this is a hypothetical, of course, but if you out the people that have done the destroying and it does more damage, then it's not worth it because you have a net loss of life and it only makes things worse. That being said, there's also the possibility that kind of shock to the system could allow for restructuring of significant problems that we have in the U.S. and globally. So I don't know what I would do personally, and I'm glad that I don't have to make that call. But the people that are like, oh, I'm Rorschach from the Watchmen, I would say just let it out. Like, there's a human cost.
I'd do it.
Well, I mean, there you go.
I'd release it.
That actually is a very good comparison, in my opinion, because
that's it.
That is, it's a Rorschach situation. Totally, I completely agree.
Okay, so just so you've got somebody, I wouldn't.
You would.
No, I look. I think we sent Trump in there. He's surrounded by good guys. People, when Kash Patel was when he was appointed, there was weeks where everybody was trying to cover up things. They were just tearing their hair out. Kash Patel can't go in there. It's just the end of the world. So we sent him in. We sent Bongino in. These are people who, look, I know people are cynical about this, but this is representative government. You and I can't go in to the archives at the FBI. We don't have any way of doing that. We send people who we trust. We're not going to get better people than this. We sent the best people. Yeah. I mean, this is a government that wants to clean up, to drain the swamp. We'll never get a better government than this. If these people go in and they say, look, this is what we've got. Look,
I think it's an addiction and it's a moral sickness. And, there are similarities. For those who are not familiar with the Watchmen comic, basically what happens is the villain stages a global catastrophe to force the Russians and the U.S. to align themselves, ending the Cold War. Rorschach, one of the quote-unquote heroes, more of an anti-hero, says, no, the world must be told the truth. And Dr. Manhattan says, you will cause nuclear annihilation if you tell them the truth. And he goes, never compromise. So Dr. Manhattan, superhero, blows him up, kills him. Yeah. My view is, what kind of world will come tomorrow if elite billionaire pedophiles get away with what they've done? We know they got away with what they've done. You're not preserving anything but a moldy piece of cake. You can say the American experiment resulted in this delicious, moist vanilla cake with cream cheese frosting and salted caramel swirls. And at this point, it is moldy and disgusting. And the argument is, but we still have cake. If there are elite, powerful individuals that have done what they've claimed to do, it sickens me to think they're sitting there with their feet up going, I am so important, I can do whatever I want without consequence. And the message that sends. Now, here's a reality about law. Let's say you're a small town business magnate. You live in an area of 2,000 to 3,000 people, and you own the local brake pad factory. You're the CEO, and you're caught, I don't know, with some ladies of the night. You don't go to jail. You don't get charged. Never happens. Because the cops will see you, and they'll go, oh, no. The mayor, their boss, will say, do you have any idea what will happen to this town if you arrest this man for the crimes he committed? It's a victimless crime. Just do nothing, okay? It was him and some lady. We know it's illegal. If you're in this small town and you get arrested and go to jail, and that puts the big factory at risk, jobs could be lost and the town could go under, so they protect you. This is true at all scales. The bigger you are and the more powerful you are, the more likely it is they will not charge you because of concerns of how it will disrupt everything else. So when you are the CEO of a big tech company, or you're a prince or a prime minister, their attitude is, it is better that we shut this thing down, tell them never again, and just walk away from it. And what that means is, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, the narrative we have set, the world we have created is, you can be the most evil of evil men, and you'll get away with it because you're powerful. That means if you want to be evil, make sure you do evil in scale with how much power you've attained. I reject that. I know I can recognize it's easy to say.
This is like raging against the human condition, though, because there's always been people in, high levels of power, high levels of authority that essentially can get away from, that are above the law. I mean, when you're dealing with royalty, currently there's royalty.
Andrew.
Yeah. But I mean, the United States and the idea that everybody is subject to the law is novel in human history. And it has always been where people that are wealthy, people that are in positions of power, have the ability to escape the repercussions of the laws that they break. So so the idea that this will solve anything, that in the future this wouldn't happen again, I don't think that's the case.
No, I think there's definitely a hierarchy there too, because you see this with sports figures and things like that, and actors and stuff like that, where it's almost like it seems like it's a win for them to be like, oh yeah, this guy totally DUI last night, and was caught with 3 prostitutes and a pound of cocaine in his trunk. That's a win for them, because while he may be a multimillionaire, he's not in that higher bracket of people that it's going to change anything. It almost seems like it's worth it for them to out something like that, because it shows, hey, we're still doing our job even though these guys are rich.
Yep. Yep.
Look, it makes me sick just like it makes you sick. Like, every normal person is going to be sickened by the thing you're describing. I just think that if you are Donald Trump, he's got his eyes laser focused first before anything else. The border, the immigration situation. Second, reshoring factories, the economy. That's the reason that he's hanging out in the Middle East with all of these, sheiks. He doesn't like this. He's doing it because he wants to bring those trillions to the United States because he thinks he's going to save it, and he just doesn't want to get derailed. That's a legit.
But I'm not asking about what Trump is or is not doing. We don't exactly know what evidence he has or doesn't have, and I understand the argument that Trump is focused on his agenda, but I suppose the implication with your argument is that you are saying you believe Trump knows these pedos, knows who they are, and won't arrest them.
Tim, someone in the chat mentioned Blackstone's formulation, the idea that it's better that 10 guilty people go free than one innocent person suffer. How do you square that with the idea of outing these people? Because these people, they go free for breaking the law, and it saves lives.
The formulation was never let evil men do things so that random other people are safe from life.
It's not.
Blackstone's formulation is talking about the government exercising its authority over individuals to cause them suffering. If the truth causes you suffering, that is reality. If you were born in South Sudan, your GDP is $400, and that's not my fault.
No, it's not your fault. But
so if there are elite, powerful pedos that are running big companies and exposing the evil causes downstream bad things to happen, that is not me exercising authority to destroy your life. That is just you are in the stream of evil.
Well, I mean, that's. I don't know that they're in the stream of evil. The people that you're punishing, while they deserve it. Right?
That's not Blackstone's formulation. Just
what? No, but I'm just using I'm not saying it's the exact same thing. But what I'm saying is,
I don't care then.
Well, okay, that's a perfectly legitimate point to make.
The idea that I'm going to be like, listen, I can't arrest this murderer because he has 3 small children. Think about the suffering they'll have by not having a dad. Nah, he goes to jail. This idea that we have with the immigration thing. Oh, you can't deport these people. They have children who are born in America. They committed a crime. This is the penalty. We're giving them a ride back to their home country, and if their kids want to go with them, they can. But think about the suffering the kids will endure back home in Honduras. That is not my fault. That is not me exercising authority to punish them. Yeah. Blackstone's formulation is, if the government is choosing to incarcerate you and deprive you of your rights with the potentiality that you are an innocent person, that is what it seeks to avoid.
You're completely right. What if he can't? What if the reality is that they cannot make any of these cases? That they know who they might go after. They can't make any of these cases without bringing, all these women who were children at the time. Without that, years of this, there's no way to put these people away. It's not that nobody cares. It's just that they look at the trajectory. What are we going to have to do in order to get there? It's not just publishing a list.
Of course.
It's like, what do we have to do to get there? And they say, we can't. This can't be what we spend the next 2 years on.
Indeed. When the Snowden files got released to, was it Laura Poitras, Glenn Greenwald, a few others, they trickled it out. And I think they did it for personal gain. I think they thought we can sit on this trove of documents, slowly releasing things over time, and we will have content for years. Got big investors, started a company. I, along with everyone else, said, just dump all of it.
Yeah.
Just release it. Now, I don't completely agree with Snowden's releasing of the documents as well, because he was a leaker, not a whistleblower. There's a big difference. In his leaking, we gained information about illicit government programs. Whistleblowing is, here's a specific program that is illegal. That being said, once the information was out, I said, just release it. Like, just do it. Like, the idea that you're going to sit and wait for it, I would say probably 80 or 90% of all that information was just forgotten about. People moved on. They didn't go through it. You could have decentralized the release. You could have, or even at the very least, find a happy medium, split up amongst different people. I think the challenge there ultimately, though, was redactions. So it is what it is. In this regard, I am sick and tired of this. But won't anyone think of the evil? But won't anyone think of the evil people? They're sitting there saying we must live in a world. Like, let me put it this way. Perhaps the reaction to all of this is China wins. We destabilize ourselves by releasing this information of the Americans that were under blackmail. Then this causes market problems that China doesn't face. And Trump saying, there's no way I'm going to let America suffer because these sickos. That I understand. But I think ultimately the question is, what nation do you build? I don't know that I would have, let's just call it whatever you want, the strength of moral character to protect a bunch of powerful globalist, elitist pedophiles for the sake of the vision of your nation. I'd just be like, those people, we got to do it. They got to go to jail. They got to get locked up. They got to get arrested. And it's not a question of creating a plan to arrest them. It's saying, here you go, everybody. Take a look. Figure it out. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.